At times, it felt like it was a basketball game on a football field. 22 players, 8 goals, 4 of which were equalizers. The first time it had happened in the Premier League since 2009. Chelsea and Manchester City showed us why the Premier League is arguably the most entertaining league in world football. Welcome to another brand new edition of Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyebolise. I trust you had a fantastic weekend and your week has started on a great footing. You know how we do it here. We give you nothing but the best from the world of sport. Not just football. We give you basketball, tennis, Formula One, and so much more. Yes, attention will switch swiftly to international football. We look forward to the World Cup qualifiers, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action against Lesotho and Zimbabwe. Yes, all of this and much more on the show. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll delve straight into action with my main man in the building. Yes, I'll be introducing him. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back. It's still Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyebolise, and with me on set today is Olumide Akombi James. Olu, that's how I call it. What's up, Olumide? How you doing?
I'm good, Edwin. Good to be back on Sport Pizza.
How's your week been?
Very well. Yeah, Chelsea won. 8-goal trailer against
Chelsea won. Is that a victory for you?
Well, it's some kind of victory for me. Because going into that game, nobody expected Chelsea to pull what they did. And it was great. Maybe on a low-key, Sporting again away from home, drop points. Not so good, but hey, Chelsea gave me something to cheer about.
Yeah, before we delve into Chelsea and European football, let's start from the home front.
Man.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria will be in action this international break. They face Lesotho and Zimbabwe in the World Cup qualifier. That's the 2026 FIFA World Cup that will take place in 3 countries. That's Mexico, United States of America, and Canada. But I'm sure you've seen the 25-man list. For viewers who haven't come across the list, I'll take you through that list. The goalkeepers are Francis Uzoho, Olorunleke Ojo, and Maduka Okoye. Defenders, we have Ola Aina, Chidozie Awoziem, Bright Osayi, Samuel, Bruno Nyemeshi, Kenneth Omero, Oluwasemilogo Ajayi, Calvin Bassey, and Jamilu Collins. The midfielders are Rafael Onyedika, Joe Aribo, Frank Onyeka, and Alex Iwobi. And the forwards, Kelechi Iheanacho, Cedric Umar, Moses Simon, Ademola Lookman, Nathan Taylor, Taiwo Awoniyi, Terence Murphy, Victor Boniface, and yes, those are the guys who are going to represent Nigeria in a double header, Lesotho and Zimbabwe. What do you make of this list? Quickly, let's start from the goalkeepers. Are these the best goalkeepers the country can offer?
No. I look at these 3 goalkeepers and I think that is a joke. If Uzo is still getting a call up, and then you have Maduka Okoye, these guys have not really shown in the last few games they've played for Nigeria that they deserve a call up. I think that we should look inward. I can talk about the Sporting Lagos goalkeeper. There's the Remo Stars goalkeeper. There's Lobby Stars goalkeeper. I feel that these guys are much more better in terms of form and then commanding their goal line.
Don't you think experience counts in situations like this? This is a World Cup qualifier. The Uzors and Okoyes have been part of the national team for a while. Remember, we failed to pick a ticket last time out for the Qatar World Cup.
Yeah.
Don't you think this maybe plays a part in the selection of these players?
So the last qualifiers that we didn't make, who were the guys there? Same guys.
Their point.
Yeah. How do you gain experience? It starts. You have to trust them to start somewhere. We've seen them in the league. We've seen them on the continent. I think that's how experience starts. So you have to trust them by throwing them in there. And if I go away from that by extension, who exactly are we playing? Lesotho and who? No, come on. You can't tell me that this cannot be a starting point for these guys.
All right, I don't have issues with the defenders, but the midfielders, 4. Why always 4? Regardless of who the national team coach is, it's always 4 midfielders.
Well, it's what it is. That's what we have. We are a nation that somehow we believe more in these guys that are playing abroad. I'll say it again. If we look inwards, we have midfielders in the league that can, do something. But again, they will go with these 4 guys because even outside of the country, you see that for our forwards, we have a lot of forwards out playing for us because we have a lot of them lighting things up out there. But if you look at our midfield, these are not exactly the best of midfielders. So I think that is what it is. We'll have to make do with what we have.
All right, for our forwards, there's nothing to really analyze here.
Yeah.
We have some of the best strikers in world football, and it should be easy peasy for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They take on Lesotho at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium on Thursday, while they take on Zimbabwe at the Huye Stadium in Butare on Sunday, 19th November 2023. All right, away from the Super Eagles quickly, let's touch on the Nigerian Professional Football League. Lobby Stars still top the standing, and it was quite an impressive victory against Sporting Lagos.
1-0. Yes, it was a very, very end-to-end game for people who saw that game. But Lobby are showing the reason why they are topping the group. They are a side that they're very difficult to break down. You look at how they've scored 13 times, conceded 7 times. Yes, maybe not exactly the best defensive side in the league, but again, it is what it is. You have to win your own game. You have to get maximum points, and it's a good one for Lobby.
For Remo Stars, they flexed their muscles against Gumbi United, trashing their opponents 4-0. Plateau United also defeated Abia Warriors 3-1. Doma United returned to winning ways and condemned Aqua United yet again to another defeat. It was 1-0 in favor of Doma United, and the clash of heavyweights Kano Pillars versus Enyimba ended in favor of Pillars. They defeated Enyimba by a lone goal. Pressure on Finidi George. A quick look at the table. You notice that Lobby Stars still top the standings. Remo Stars second. Enugu Rangers third, and Shooting Stars picked up a valuable point away from home, occupy the 4th place. The bottom 4, you have Enyimba Aqua United, Bayelsa United, and Heartland. Before we go on a short break, Olu, quickly, tennis. Novak Djokovic is guaranteed to end the year as world #1. The ATP Finals is currently on, and his victory against Holger Rune ensured that he's going to end the year as world #1 for a record 8th time.
Brilliant. Fantastic for him. For a man that is close to 40. Every time I talk about Djokovic, that's what I see. These younger guys coming through the ranks are expected. I saw the game, and I asked myself, the first set was a stretch. They went to tie break. Yes. Yeah. And then, somehow the master would find a way. Second set he should have put Djokovic to sword earlier on, but somehow he fought back and then went to another tie break, but somehow he was able to. But in the third set, we saw what the master did. He just showed him that guy, all these things that he have been doing. Come on. So it's a good one for him. Record 8 time, ending the world as #1. Good one for him.
At 36, for how long can the Joker keep on going? Let's go on another break. When we come back, we switch focus to European football, amongst others. Welcome back. It's still Sports Pizza, and Edwin Onyeboli says still in the building alongside Olumide Akombi James. Olu, let's start from Stamford Bridge.
Wow.
8-goal thriller.
Yeah.
It was exhilarating for neutral. I didn't want to be a Chelsea fan yesterday. I didn't want to be a City fan. It was end-to-end stuff. It was quality football. We saw the best of the Premier League. We saw goals. We saw beautiful football from both sides. We also saw some bad defenders. Hey, come on! If you score 4 goals,
you must be bad.
Yeah, the highlight of the game wasn't the defenders.
Yeah.
But all in all, over 90 minutes, maybe 100 minutes if you include added time. What was your take?
Well, first off, I'd like to start saying that that's a good advertisement for the Premier League. They showed why, again, the majority have gone the way of being the best league in the world. In that game, I think that Chelsea showed the rest of the league and managers the template of how to play against City and Pep Guardiola. It was a worry. Pep Guardiola, if you look at him at the sidelines, he wasn't at rest. Every time he's speaking with his technical team, what they can do better and get one over Chelsea. But again, I think that for Chelsea, that was a bold statement for Poch and his boys. They have shown that, yes, even though at home this season they've been terrible, that's another draw again at home. It was a draw against Liverpool. And they need to start working on that. But the good thing is that this young team and Pochettino, they have shown that, yes, Chelsea is still a team that you need to look out for. Because, again, you look at them, they don't have a full complement of their squad. A couple of first-team players are still out injured. These guys playing is the bench. You heard Pep Guardiola saying it, that they have physicality, they've got bench, they've got technicalities, they've got very good players. And they have put themselves in line next season for one of the challengers. So already Pep is looking at them as one of the favorites to compete next season.
All right, for Manchester City, it was, I wouldn't call it a disappointing draw, but when you take the lead a few minutes before the end of the game, a team with the experience of City, you expect them to see it out. But hey, Armando Broja came on in place of Jackson. Got the penalty that Cole Palmer slotted in. Individually, who impressed you from both sides?
So I think Rodri was solid in that side, and I'll talk about Bernardo Silva also.
Fantastic player.
I think these two guys really, and I think for Diaz, I think Diaz, Bernardo Silva, and Rodri for City. I can't pick out a standout player between these three, but I will go with these three. For Chelsea, I think it was a collective effort. You can't really say this is the standout player.
So for me, I thought Sterling was good. Gallagher was industrious in midfield. In defense, the evergreen, he's 39 years old, we'll have to call him evergreen, Thiago Silva. But all in all, it was a good game for both sides. Chelsea will take solace from the fact that against the best team in the world, we could come back from a goal down a couple of times and get those 3 points. But like you said, it was a draw, not a win. There were wins, however, for Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal. Aston Villa at home kept their 100% record going.
6 wins.
Yeah, the points difference between City and Liverpool is currently 1. 28-27. Arsenal third, 27 points. But inferior goals difference with Liverpool. Guess what? After the international break, it is City versus Liverpool. So mark that on your calendars. Let's take a look at the standings in the Premier League. City still top the table. Manchester City, Liverpool second, Arsenal third. Spurs lost to Wolves. It was 2 late goals for Wolves at the Molineux. And yes, it was quite a game for Spurs, still reeling from the injury losses they have suffered. Aston Villa complete the top 5. The bottom 3, you have Luton Town, Sheffield United, and Burnley, who can't buy a win yet in the Premier League. All right, so let's quickly touch on the Italian Serie A. And Rudy Garcia had to leave.
Napoli. You really don't know what is wrong, because when you look at them, you cannot talk about injuries. Apart from Osimhen, yes, you say Osimhen is very instrumental to what Napoli can do, but he's out injured. But again, in that game against Empoli, you do not concede late. What they considered, I think, in the 90th minute. You don't do that again. They should have managed that game. Now, Empoli are not necessarily a side that should pose a challenge against Napoli. But again, they have shown this season that without Osimhen, it seemed like the forwards cannot find a way. Kvaratskhelia, Simeone, these guys are not. Something is wrong with that side, but you really can't tell what is wrong.
All right, but you can absolutely tell that Inter Milan are flying high. Federico Di Marco scored arguably not the goal of the season, but the goal of the year. That goal should be a contender for the Puskás Award at the FIFA the best ceremony. What did you say?
It's still a long season. We probably will still see something.
Yeah, but it's going to take some beating to topple that goal. For Milan, it was a 2-2 draw, having gone 2-0 up against Lecce. Lecce found a way back, and once again, Milan stumbled.
Yeah, I think that the fatigue did Inter bad, Milan bad. Because you don't take 2 goals lead and then allowed your position to get back into it. For them, they did as much as they could do, but again, like I said, playing Champions League football against that PSG side, getting that result, we saw they had to put in everything to bring themselves back into reckoning. So I think it was fatigue. Also,
there were wins for Fiorentina and Juventus, who are slowly mounting a title challenge. Away from the Italian Serie A, let's touch on the Spanish La Liga. Real Madrid 5, Valencia 1. It was a tricky game, but on the night, Vinicius Jr. came to party. And when he has his head in the game, there are few footballers who can lace his boots.
Yeah, he should have gotten past the brace. He should have gotten about 4 or 5 goals, but composure got the best of him. But again, yes, like you said, I line with you on that. When Vini on his day wants to play football and move away from all the other things, he really is worrisome for the defense. He was a
Lewandowski ended his 6-game goal drought with a brace against Alaves. It wasn't a convincing performance from Barcelona. They huffed and puffed, but once again, form is temporary, class is permanent, and that's what you get from Robert Lewandowski. Atletico Madrid also defeated Villarreal from a goal down. Antoine Griezmann still banging in the goals, and arguably the best player in the Spanish La Liga over 18 months. All right, that's much we can take on the show. But before we leave, let me tell you that Wydad Casablanca couldn't, hold on to their first leg victory as they stumbled to a 2-0 loss against Mamelodi Sundowns in the African Football League, the inaugural edition. And Mamelodi Sundowns are $3 million richer after they defeated Wydad Casablanca 2-0 in Pretoria. All right, we'll leave you with our video of the week. Do enjoy it. And remember to follow us on our social media platform, Sports Pizza, on all social media platforms. Also, engage us on our YouTube channel, where we give you some lovely content. Thank you, Olumide, for being a part of the show. I hope to see you same time. From me, from us, Sports Pizza. Bye-bye.